Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki Akama Sarva Kamo Va Moksha Kama Udaradi Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajate Purusham Param Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langayate girim, yat kripatamaham vande, Shri Guru Dinatarinam, Paramananda Madhavam, Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for joining. So today is very wonderful day. Why? Because today is Snana Yatra Utsav. It's the day where the deities, I shared the picture also, I think most of you may have seen. The big deities are brought out and they are bathed by 108 pots of water. It's a festival, very special festival. So His Grace Prashant Mukund Prabhu spoke about it in detail. I'm sure you all relished that class, so we'll not talk about it today in detail. But since today is the actual day, we can at least mentally think of that pastime or hear about it or, remember those pastimes, the Leelas of the Lord. So today is the day where the Snana Yatra Utsav happens. Snan means bathing, so the bathing festival. When we bathe, it's not a big deal, right? But when the Lord bathes, it's a festival. So Janma Karma Chame Divyam. Everything is transcendental. Whatever the Lord does. If He steals, He's famous. If He bathes, He gets famous. If He runs from the war, He becomes Ranchod. Whatever He does, He's absolute. So wish you all happy Snan Yatra Utsav, and may the Lord give us wonderful opportunities, more and more such festivals, so that we can take pleasure in serving on those pastimes and those festivals for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. So we'll continue with the reading of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 3, the marriage of Sukanya and Cyavana Muni. So if you remember the last time, that was yesterday, I believe, or day before. Losing track of time. It was yesterday. So yesterday we read about how the Ashwini Kumaras came and they revived the body of Cyavana Muni. His body was old, diseased, irritable. So very nice lesson also we kind of saw that when the wife is submissive, cooperative, then the husband basically becomes subservient also. That's the way to conquer the husband, by chastity and submissiveness. So let's see the next verse, text 18. Yakshyamano athash sharyatais chavyanasya ashramam gataha dadarshi duhitaha parshve purusham surya vajasam. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thereafter King Saryati, desiring to perform a sacrifice, went to the residence of Cyavana Muni. There he saw, by the side of his daughter, a very beautiful young man as bright as the sun. Hare Krishna. So, quite straightforward. This is what he saw. So I'm not going to jump in the following verses. His father, basically, Sukanya's father, is Sharyati. He came to see his daughter, perhaps. And this is what he saw, a young man side of his daughter. So let's see what's going on. Yes, who wants to read? Lakshay, Prabhu, want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Raja Duhitalam Praha Kita Pada Vivandanam Ashisash Kaprayun Jano Nati Priti Manaiva. Translation. After receiving obeisances from his daughter, the king, instead of offering blessing to her, appeared very displeased and spoke as follows. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Lakshay, Prabhu. So, looks like the daughter offered obeisance. This is a culture of respect, offering obeisance to seniors. And the other day, Manjulali was explaining it. The culture of senior is not just by age, it's multiple levels, by diksha, one who got diksha before, one who is spiritually mature, one who is more advanced in bhakti, one who is senior by age. So the father is certainly, father is he's the father, so he's certainly senior by age and senior by spiritual life, Evaswat Manu. So in every way he's respectable, and the daughter is offering obeisance. A very good sign of culture and respect. But this father seems to be very displeased, and he did not offer blessings to her. Generally, if we bow down in front of elders, they will offer some blessings. Krishna Matirastu, may you be happy, may you be Krishna conscious, may you develop love for Krishna, may you be healthy, may you live a long Krishna conscious life, things like that from the heart. But the father was not so happy and he did not give any blessings. So let's see what were the reasons for not being so happy. Yes, Raghu Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, thank you. Hare Krishna devotees, text 20. Chikshastam te kim idam patistvaya pralambito lokanam namaskrito munihi yat tvam jaragrastam asti asmat matam vihaya jaram bhajase mam advagam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Oh, unchaste girl, what is this that you have desired to do? You have cheated the most respectable husband, who is honored by everyone. For I see that because he was old, diseased, and therefore unattractive, you have left his company to accept as your husband this young man who appears to be a beggar from the street. Purport. This shows the values of the Vedic culture. According to the circumstances, Sukanya had been given a husband who was too old to be compatible with her. Because Cyavana Muni was deceased and very old, he was certainly unfit for the beautiful daughter of King Saryati. Nonetheless, her father expected her to be faithful to her husband. When he suddenly saw that his daughter had accepted someone else, even though the man was young and handsome, he immediately chastised her as a city, unchaste. Lost track here. Unchaste, because he assumed that she had accepted another man in the presence of her husband. According to Vedic culture, even if a young woman is given an old husband, she must respectfully serve him. This is chastity. It is not that because she dislikes her husband, she may give him up and accept another. This is against Vedic culture. According to Vedic culture, a woman must accept the husband given to her by her parents and remained chaste and faithful to him. Therefore, King Saryati was surprised to see a young man by the side of Sukanya. So, this translation and purport here explains what happened, why the king, when he saw a handsome young man next to his daughter, he thought his daughter had left uh, the original the Muni husband, Cyavana Muni, and had taken on another man, a young man, and he completely misunderstood what had happened. And the purport goes on to explain that in Vedic culture, one must accept the woman must accept the husband that's given to her, even though he may be old and she may not be happy, but that's where the culture is, and she has to respect that and serve that husband. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So I think we reflected upon these lessons yesterday also, where since the topic has come. The Vedic scriptures explain that even if the husband is old, angry, diseased, poor, not so good looking, even impotent, but still the wife should not leave the husband. And same goes for the wife, right? Even if the wife looks old, diseased, uh, poor, angry, whatever, same, it applies for both sides. It's not that, especially in Kali Yuga, these things are not very well followed. Marriages are based on temporary platforms, and divorce comes before the marriage, right? It was a joke first, you used to ask a riddle, where does divorce come before marriage? Actually, the answer is dictionary, technically. But the point is here, the the conditions are set up even before the marriage, that if you don't do this to me, I'll divorce you, and things like that. So it's very contractual. But Chavan Muni had not given such samskaras to his daughter. He had given great sanskaras. So he was awestruck. Like, how dare you give up your husband, who I agree he was old, but but you're married, you're married. Like, it's not a question of thinking outside the marriage. So he was not happy to see a young woman, a young person with her daughter, his daughter, sorry. And to him, although externally he was very beautiful, but to him he appeared like a street beggar in the street. So no one wants to want a beggar in the street. Hmm. Sharyati daughter, yeah. So Sharyati's daughter married to Chavan Muni. Yes, maybe I misspoke. Thank you. So the point is Ekapatni Vrata, Ekapati Vrata. This is Kali Yuga. Hmm.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, we lost you.
Sorry, my connection is not so good. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, I think we discussed about this point that husband and wife should support each other in spite of all the other external conditions like old age, etc. So Sharyati, the father, was not happy to see the girl, his daughter, accepting anyone else besides her husband. Well, he didn't know the whole situation, so let's see. He didn't, because it's not an ordinary thing to for a old person to turn into a young person. So his father didn't know, but I think it'll get clarified. So let's see. Text 21. Someone wants to read this?
I can read, Prabhu.
Is Nandini Mataji? Okay, Amish Prabhu, yeah, please.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to everyone. Text number 21. Katham matis te vagatanyatha sata kula prasute kula dushanam vidam vivarshi jaram yadapatrapa kulam pitucha bhartucha nayasya dhastam. Translation and purport by Divine Grace S. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. O my daughter, who were born in the respectable family, how have you degraded your consciousness in this way? How is it that you are shamelessly maintaining a paramour? You will thus degrade the dynasties of both your father and your husband to hellish life. Purport. It is quite clear that according to Vedic culture, a woman who accepts a paramour, a second husband, in the presence of the husband she had married is certainly responsible for the degradation of her family's family and the family of her husband. The rule of Vedic culture in this regard are strictly observed in the respectable families of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas even today. Only the Shudras are degraded in this matter. For a woman of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya class to accept another husband in the presence of a husband she has married, or to file for divorce, or accept a boyfriend or paramour is unacceptable in the Vedic culture. Therefore, King Saryati, who did not know the real fact of Cyavana Muni's transformation, was surprised to see the behavior of his daughter. So here we see that her Sukanya's father don't know the real fact, and he assumed that she has accepted the different husband who looks very nice and handsome. But in the reality, he don't know the fact, and Prabhupada is saying very clear message what to accept in the Vedic culture and what not to be in terms of second marriage or accepting the boyfriend or the second husband. That is the lesson here. So, but in today's world, it looks like they feel that it's outdated actually. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So I think we discussed about this lesson multiple times, that husband or wife should be chaste and eka patni vrata, eka pati vrata. The other lesson which I'm kind of thinking here is also that to judge or jump to conclusions without knowing facts. So is an important lesson. And if you reflect upon it, I mean, I have also done this mistake of jumping to a conclusion without knowing facts. So here, Prabhupada is mentioning that he didn't know this, right? He didn't know the real facts, but he jumped to conclusion that that his daughter has accepted a paramour, uh, and he is basically asking how you are doing, such a degraded act of accepting a paramour in front of your husband. So it's a great lesson that we should not jump to conclusions without knowing the facts. Very, very important lesson here, that we should always try to understand the facts and the situation before jumping to conclusion. One of the biggest dangerous jumps is a lecture, I think, is to jump to judgments or conclusions without knowing proper facts, or judging others. Okay, let's see the next verse. Yes, Nandini Mataji, want to
Yes,
read?
Prabhu. Dandavat pranam. Yes, Prabhu. Evam Bruvanam Pitaram Smayamana Shuchismita Uvacha Tata Jamata Tavesha Bhrugunandanaha. Sukanya, however, being very proud of her chastity, smiled upon hearing the rebukes of her father. She smilingly told him, "My dear father, this young man by my side is your actual son-in-law, the great sage Cyavana, who was born in the family of Bhrigu." Actually, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Although the father chastised the daughter, assuming that she had accepted another husband, the daughter knew that she was completely honest and chaste, and therefore she was smiling. When she explained that her husband Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Muni had now been transformed into a young man, she was very proud of her chastity, and thus she smiled as she talked with her father. So chastity is the most important aspect of women's character, and so she's very happy that he is that same person, and her father. She's very happy to reveal the fact to her father. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. There's a few things coming to my mind. So number one, the wife is not directly addressing, oh, he is Cyavana Muni. Basically, she is saying that he is Bhrigunandana, the son of Bhrigu, or in the dynasty of Bhrigu. In the Vedic culture, you may have seen that the wife does not take directly the name of her husband. So we see that here as well. And a very important lesson, how to deal. Okay, the father judged her. The father said that, how dare you, be in the presence of our paramour. But she did not take it so seriously. She kind of, in a very intelligent way, diluted the whole situation. Smilingly, she took it in a very light note and clarified. So misunderstandings can be sorted out by proper communication. Very, very important point. So there was a misunderstanding there. What was the misunderstanding? That the father had judged Sukanya to be unchaste and thinking that she has left her old husband and taken shelter of some young person. But Sukanya, in a very gentle way, very ideal daughter, ideal personality, in a very gentle way, in a smiling way, not getting angry. Hey, how dare you judge me? You don't trust my character. She could have said that, because she was not wrong when the father put like a false blame that you are unchaste, in short, which is a very big blame upon chaste women. Mm. But she did not take that as a very, very on a serious note, because a humble person never thinks like that. On a lighter note, smilingly, she said, "My dear father, this is the same, Bhrigunandana. So it's a very intelligent way. Sometimes, we may be in this kind of situation. Rather than taking it upon our ego, how dare you call me this, or how dare you judge me like this, we can just remember this pastime, and then how Sukanya just clarified the misunderstanding, and by proper communication. So very, very important lesson, I feel, for me. So let's take the next verse, 23. Anyone wants to read? Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Then text 23. Shashamsa pitre tat sarvam vayo rupa bilam banam vishmita parama prittas tanayam parishashvaje. Translation by Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Thus Sukanya explained how her husband had received the beautiful body of a young man. When the king heard this, he was very surprised, and in great pleasure he embraced his beloved daughter. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So, quite straightforward. I mean, anyone would be surprised to hear this, right? And he was watching this because he had seen the old Cyavana Muni, and now he's seeing the new Cyavana Muni, which is in a youthful body. So it's like pratyaksha. I mean, hearing this is so surprising. How would a person like seeing it would not be surprised? So certainly it's very surprising, but of course the daughter was not lying, and when the king heard this, he was in great pleasure, basically proud of his good daughter, that his daughter did not follow an unchaste path, or his daughter did not break the codes of the scriptures or the values of the Vedic values. So he was very happy, and embrace is a sign of blessings, because earlier if we recall just a few verses back, he was very displeased, and he did not give any blessings. Generally, a father is very attached to the daughter, and daughter is attached to the father. This is the natural course. But the father not giving blessing is unnatural. Or father, when the daughter greets and the father did not give any respect, and the classic example we know is Daksha, right? When Dakshani came and the father did not give any respect, he was like burnt herself. So in Canto 4, we read this story. So, but now the misunderstandings have been sorted out by proper communication, and things are back to normal. So let's see what happens further. Text 24. Raman Prabhu, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I'll try. Somenam yaja yanam viram grahyam somascha chaksha hita asomam parokshino shishya vanah swane tejasa. So the translation is Cyavana Muni, by his own prowess, enabled King Saryati to perform the Soma Yagya. The Muni offered a full pot of Somarasa to the Ashwini Kumaras, although they were unfit to drink it. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So, very straightforward. He performed this yagya, or enabled Saryati, his kind of father-in-law, although we know that he was technically by age probably bigger, elder. And in text 11 and 12, we read about this reciprocal exchange, that if Ashwini Kumaras would give youth to Cyavana Muni, he would give them a full pot of nectar, or somarasa here, sorry, which he did now. And why they were unfit? Because in the yagyas, the share is not offered to them. Why is that not offered? There must be a historical incidents behind it, which I'm not aware of at this point. So basically, he fulfilled his promise, which he had told to Ashwini Kumaras, that he will give them a pot full of somarasa. Okay, let's see further. Text 25. Anyone else wants to read? Who hasn't? Yes. Kirti Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Text 25. Hantum tamadade vajram samodyam anurmarshitah savraja stambhayamasa bhunjim indriyasya bhargava. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. King Indra, being perturbed and angry, wanted to kill Cyavana Muni, and therefore he impetuously took up his thunderbolt. But Cyavana Muni, by his powers, paralyzed Indra's arm that held the thunderbolt. So here we can see the power of that Muni. He paralyzed the Indra's hand. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So basically, Indra got angry that how did he give somarasa to Ashwini Kumaras, who were not eligible. So tried to, quite straightforward, tried to attack him, but Cyavana Muni is not an ordinary person. Paralyzed the arm. So let's see further. 26. Yes, Babu Prabhu, you want to read?
Hare Krishna. Anvanjanastata sarve graham somasya chasvino bishajjav iti yat purvam somahutya bahishkrita. Translation. Although the Ashwini Kumaras were only physicians and were therefore excluded from drinking Somarasa in sacrifices, the demigod agreed to allow them henceforward to drink it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So again, I'll try to look up the story, that what happened, why they were excluded in the past. But at this point onwards, looks like henceforward, the demigods agreed to allow them to drink it. So there must be some episode that they were excluded from the drinking the somarasa. But now it looks like they got a big pot. So it's better to allow them, because now they anyways have it. Let's see, text 27. Anyone who has not yet read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. May I read?
Yes, Mataji, please. Thank
you. Dandavat Pranam, all devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text number 27. Uttana bahirranarto bhurishena iti traya Sharyatera bhavan putra anartarta revato bhavat. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. King Saryati begot 3 sons named Uttana Bharti, Anarta and Purisena. From Anarta came the son named Revata. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. Back to you.
So he performed the yajna empowered by Cyavana Muni. Soma Yajna is mentioned here. And he got these 3 sons. And 1 grandson is also mentioned. So let's see, 28. iPhone, Prabhuji, Mataji wants to read. Who's iPhone? Anjalali, you want to read?
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Sonta samudrana garim vinirmaya kushasthalim astito bhukta vishayan anartadin arindama tasya putra shatam jagye kakudmi jeshtam uttamam. Translation Prabhupada by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Maharaj Parikshit, subduer of enemies, this Revat constructed a kingdom known as Kusasthali in the depths of the ocean. There he lived and ruled such tracts of land as Anartha, etc. He had 100 very nice sons, of whom the eldest was Kakudmi. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. So Revata was the grandson of Manu. He built Kusasthali in the depths of the ocean, so hard for us to comprehend. And he had 100 sons, very nice sons. Eldest was Kakudmi. So let's see further. I think everyone. Punamataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pandharpana, Shri Prabhuji. Text 29. Kakudmi Revatim Kanyam Swabham Adaya Vibhum Gata Putraya Varam Pariprasthum Varam Brahmalokam Aparvatam. Translation by His Divine Grace Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. Taking his own daughter Revati, Kakudmi went to Lord Brahma in Brahmaloka, which is transcendental to the 3 modes of material nature, and inquired about a husband for her. Purport. It appears that Brahmaloka, the abode of Lord Brahma, is also transcendental, above the 3 modes of material nature, Apavratam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, back to you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Who is his here?
Kakudmi.
Yes, Kakudmi. Thank you. So the father has the responsibility to get the daughter married, which is maybe the culture, and the children married. So going to Brahmaloka to find or ask about the daughter's match, that is, inquire about the husband. Prabhupada is mentioning here the word used to address Brahmaloka is apavritam, transcendental three qualities. So this is interesting because at certain places we know Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punarvartino Arjuna, right? From the topmost to the lowest, the cycle of birth and death continues. But we also see here, therefore Prabhupada is making an interesting comment here. It appears that, so basically it's not that, that some places I have heard that some devotees may go to Brahmaloka and from there may go to spiritual world. So it's kind of like like you're going from one place to the other, and even like take a stop there. So Jalali is mentioning that Haridas Thakur is also says the same thing. It's transcendental. But Haridas Thakur is none other than Brahma, actually. We know the story that Haridas Thakur was, Brahmaji was born as Haridas Thakur. Okay, so any other comments, any additions anyone has? When we went to Brahmaloka, find the match. Okay. Any other comments, questions? Okay, let's read one last verse and then we'll pause there. Anyone who has not got a chance to read? Okay, and then Mataji, you want to read? Okay, I'll just take it on. Avartamani gandharve sthito labdha shanashanam tadantadyam anamya swabhiprayam navedayat. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When Kakudmi arrived there, Lord Brahma was engaged in hearing musical performances by Gandharvas and had not a moment to talk with him. Therefore, Kakudmi waited, and at the end of the musical performance, he offered his obeisance to Lord Brahma and thus submitted his long-standing desire. So this musical performance was going on, and in Brahma's Brahmaloka, and he was busy, so he had to sit in the Kakudmi along with his daughter. What was the name of the daughter? Anyone knows? Raise your hand.
Revati.
Revati, yes. Who was Revati's grandfather?
Saryati.
Viveswan?
Revat.
Revat, because Revat's son was Kakudmi and Kakudmi's daughter was Revati. So, right? So Revat, Kakudmi and Revati. Revat's father was Sharyati. Sharyati's father was Vivasvat. It was a long-standing desire What was the long-standing desire of Kakudmi?
Getting appropriate son for her daughter or appropriate husband.
Appropriate husband. I think everyone should know these questions if we are reading and paying attention. We just read these things today. So yes, to get the husband for the daughter. He went to Brahmaloka and he had to wait. So maybe tomorrow we will see what happens next. Brahmaji will probably attend him after his musical entertainment is done. Any other comments, questions, additions anyone has before we pause for today? Okay, so we'll pause here. Grantha Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.